You might have experienced one of the most heartbreaking, shocking, and even scary things any dog owner can experience. Your dog suddenly turns on you, aggressively barking or even biting you. Are you and your close ones safe after this? Can you ever trust your dog again? Here's the truth of what is happening. One of the most misunderstood forms of aggression is something called redirected aggression. And hey, that's also true of humans. But let's remain focused here and talk about your dog. It often happens on walks, and it's one of the most distressing scenarios, especially because it can feel like it came out of literally nowhere. Let me paint you a picture that hopefully does not remind you of something that happened in your real life. You're walking your dog, then they spot another dog across the street, or at the end of the park. Things are peaceful for a millisecond. Then it turns nasty. Your dog lunges, they bark, maybe they snarl, and in a desperate attempt to defuse the situation, you pull your dog's leash attempting to hold him back. And then, your dog's rage pivots to you. Without warning, they bite your leg. Shocking, right? Why would they do that to you? You of all people, you feed them, clothe them, take them for walks. It wasn't you they were angry at, it was the other dog. You weren't provoking them, so why did they lash out at you? This is redirected aggression, aka taking anger that was intended for someone else and utilizing it against you instead. Think of it as being similar to being angry at your manager at work, but you lash out at your romantic partner instead. It's essentially emotional overflow. In that moment, your dog experiences an intense trigger. Like in our example, frustration at not being able to reach a dog they are reactive to. But instead of releasing that energy on the trigger, because they physically can't because of the annoying leash, they redirect it onto the closest target. That might be the leash itself. It could possibly be a tree. Or worst case scenario, you. In such a case, it is, as with all the entries on this list, not your dog's fault. Nor is it yours, nor does it mean they hate you, nor that they want to hurt you. Gosh, I love saying the word nor. Gonna try and slip that into this episode as much as possible to try and lighten up a heavy topic. All it means is that their emotions have overwhelmed their self-control. They're effectively caught in a loop of adrenaline and frustration. It's a moment of panic and confusion for them too. Probably even more so. Like many character quirks of dogs, certain breeds are more prone to this kind of outburst, especially high-drive dogs with very strong frustration thresholds. Though, with that said, it can sadly happen to any dog under the right, though that should probably be the wrong, circumstances. If you find your dog prone to misdirected aggression, there are a few tricks to mitigate it. First, use tools like harnesses with front clips to reduce pulling. Secondly, avoid situations where your dog becomes overstimulated. If you've noticed your dog struggles with crowded sidewalks or dog-heavy parks, for example, try walking somewhere else. And finally, something we bring up a lot on this channel, try positive reinforcement training to help desensitize your dog to their triggers in a safe, structured way, if that is something you have got the time for. Another heartbreaking but common reason your dog might seem to turn on you is that they're in pain. And like the first thing on this list, this is true of humans as well. Somebody who has a lot of back pain might snap at you, and the same is the case for your dog. If they're suffering with chronic, undiagnosed, or untreated pain, even the most docile dog might lash out at you, especially if you make the innocent mistake of touching them in a sensitive area. Take a moment to put yourself in their shoes. Imagine you have a splitting migraine. Now imagine somebody charges up to you and slaps you on the back. Even if you love the person who does it, you'd probably lose your temper at them, right? I mean, that's kind of a bad example. You'd probably lose your temper at anyone slapping you on the back. But still, you get the point. The migraine makes you more prone to irritability in the face of frustrating stimuli. If someone were to accidentally touch you on the back when you had sunburn, which is defo, the example I should have gone with from the jump, you might snap and say, "Oi, that hurts." But dogs can't say, "Oi, that hurts," so instead they will growl or bark, or maybe even bite. Common source of pain in dogs that can lead to aggressive outbursts against their pet parents can include arthritis or joint issues, dental pain, spinal problems, ear infections, soft tissue injuries, neurological issues like seizures or nerve pain, and a partridge in a pear tree. Sorry, I felt awkward about how heavy that was getting, so I made a dumb joke. I feel bad now. What makes this especially difficult is that dogs are excellent at hiding pain until they literally can't anymore. For that reason, you might have no idea your dog is suffering. So when they have a sudden outburst, it can seem really random and scary. Your dog might normally always enjoy being petted, but then one day they suddenly flinch, growl, or bite when touched. Because you can't tell that they're suffering, it would be easy to mistake this outburst as a behavior issue rather than a medical one. If your normally friendly dog is suddenly turning on you, try not to jump to conclusions nor punish them. It might be best to visit a vet first and rule out physical causes of aggression before assuming it's purely behavioral. Another common reason why your dog may snap at you is resource guarding. Dogs instinctively protect what they perceive as valuable. There's a reason why they're the animals that we charge to do guarding duties, because it's in their bones. Whether it be food, toys, bones, or even a favorite person, which may well be you, your dog can get super protective of the things they considered theirs. For that reason, if someone approaches said thing, they might growl or bite. As I say, this could even include you. You might have had a play fight with your partner at some point, only for your dog to jump up and get involved and valiantly protect the one of you they deem their favorite. And in some situations, they might even get nasty in their defense. Resource guarding doesn't mean your dog is dominant or spoiled. It means they feel insecure. They believe that if they don't protect their resources, they'll lose them. And yes, that can include the people they love. Some dogs are actually genetically predisposed to guard more intensely than others. While some might learn the behavior because of bad past experiences, such as having food taken away from them as a puppy or living in environments where resources were scarce. Very common in dogs who are adopted a little later in life. It can be easy to confront or even punish your dog for guarding activity, but that's not the best approach. The goal is to try and change how they feel. Counter-conditioning and desensitization techniques can help your dog disassociate people approaching their stuff with a treat or losing said stuff. Some examples include tossing treats into the food bowl as you walk by, so they learn that you passing their food will not lead to them losing food, or trading items they value with even better ones so they can see the benefit of letting some of their resources go. We've touched upon quite a few rather sad reasons why your dog might lash out at you, and this might be the saddest yet. Some are simply traumatized. Yet again, this is true of humans as well. Sadly, many people who are angry and unpleasant are often that way because of the lingering ramifications of past troubles. And this is the same for dogs. But sadly, they don't get to vent about those issues in therapy, nor learn how to move past them. Dogs with a history of abuse, neglect, poor socialization, or abandonment can carry deep emotional scars. This means they can be triggered by everything from loud noises to sudden movements and unfamiliar humans. Even specific objects might cause defensive reactions, rooted in historic fear. Fear-based aggression is often a survival response. In such a situation, your dog is not trying to dominate or challenge you. They've simply been triggered and are trying to protect themselves from something their trauma has warped them into perceiving as danger. This can lead to things like biting you when you pick them up, growling if they feel cornered, snapping at you if they feel like you've encroached on their space, or even lunging at you if you reach in to pet them. These are not the signs of a bad dog, nor a misbehaving one. These are simply signs of a poor, traumatized, frightened pooch who doesn't feel safe. Yet. But with patience, consistency, and gentle training methods, rooted in lots of trust and utterly no force, many dogs that struggle with intense fear can improve dramatically. They need routines, quiet spaces, and people who respect their boundaries. And with time, you can get there. But it's vital to avoid the temptation to slip into traditional punishment-based methods like yelling, leash corrections, or dominance-based tactics. These can make things much worse, as they can reinforce the dog's belief that people are unpredictable or dangerous. Remember, healing takes time. But the good news is dogs are remarkably resilient. If you give them the chance to learn how to trust again, that is. They're ready to grow if you're ready to support them. Dogs don't turn evil. They don't scheme. They don't betray. But they can be scared, hurt, confused, or overwhelmed. Try and see things from their point of view when it feels like they're turning on you, because they're not turning on you really, nor is it their fault. If you don't help them overcome these issues, they might emotionally move on from you and develop a new favorite person.